Heyo, fantasy folks. It's me, it's Scoob, your commissioner, coming to you from the Mallard, the 86 Mallard. Man, I came in with a win in week one. Sorry to my lovely wife, Crawdad. It was a squeaker. Beat her 105.4 to 105.22. I'm glad to get the win, but man, it was looking like I wasn't going to. And I got to give it to her because, I came out of the draft supposedly with the number one projected team. I think she was like the 12th or 11th projected team. So she made moves on the waiver wire. She claims that she tinkered too much and tinkered her way out of the win. Nonetheless, she played me tough, and I was nervous, especially I needed that Dallas game. I had CeeDee Lamb and the Giants kicker. Giants kicker put up -2. CeeDee Lamb hardly played because the Dallas Cowboys beat the crap out of the Giants. Their defense is legit. We'll get into that later. Other games last week, we had Memphis Mains taking down Too Good For You, 117 to 108. Memphis Mains, man, always a good competitor. Too Good For You, man, like, he's having a tough time, man. He already lost Cooper Kupp. Now it looks like Austin Eckler's going to be out. He's loaded, though, at running back, so he can move some guys around. I think he's got Brian Robinson on his bench. Dunk, my team partner over here, is crying. So if you hear, that's Dunk, my sad boy. Anyways, so and right before I started recording this, I got a trade alert that Trash Pandas and Dangerous Knights made a trade. Dangerous Knights send Khalil Herbert over to Trash Pandas, who was hurting for running backs because Aaron Jones looks like he's going to be out. And Trash Pandas sends back the ghost of Michael Thomas. He's back, everybody. Once the best player in fantasy. Now we'll see what he is. But nonetheless, if you've got a weakness on your team, look for somebody that's like, say you're weak at running back. Look at the guys that are stacked at that are stacked at running back but weak at wide receiver. Make a deal, guys. The trades are so much fun, and that's how you build a championship team. Don't just be working the waiver wire. Look at what everybody else has got. Dunk, why are you so sad, buddy? Come here, buddy. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here, Dunky. This is Dunk, in case anybody was, oh, hi, bud. All right, so he missed me. I was gone all day. So yeah, get out there, make trades, man. That's how you do it. Other games, Slummy the Buckless Troll, our defending champion, makes a statement in week one without Travis Kelce, without his best player, puts up 143 points against the new guy, beating up on Clint and Tiggle Bitties, man. New guy had a rough week, only put up 74. Didn't matter, though. Nobody this week would have beat Slummy. Slummy brought it. Donkey got to stop, but Jive Turkeys beats the Texas Chainsaw, beats them 114 to 102. Peyton's Five Head comes in. Man, they were projected to win. They end up losing to Trash Pandas. Trash Pandas, pulls off the win 107 to 89. And Georgia Peaches versus the Dangerous Knights. Dangerous Knights gets the win 96 to 91. And that wraps up week one. So, winners and losers, guys. Hey, if you won in week one, celebrate it. Like that, like you got a winning record right now. But that can change in a minute. And that goes for the guys that, those of y'all that lost too, all it takes is one win to stop a losing streak. So, keep making the moves, working the waivers, make some trades, guys. That's part of what makes this game great. So let's move on to week two. And the matchups, we got Too Good For You taking on Dangerous Knights. Like I said, Dangerous Knights just made a trade, getting Michael Thomas to strengthen their wide receiving depth. Man, Dangerous Knights is up big already in this one, 48.7 to nothing. He had Hawkinson, who put up like 25 points. That last touchdown was total garbage time, but it counts. And he's got Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith, man, that kid is legit. So he's also got both Lions running backs in his lineup, and I really think that the Lions are gonna try to run the ball against the Seahawks. And in fact, I'm leaning towards taking the Lions. Right now, the line is at Lions by 4.5, and I think that's a pretty good number, so I might take that. I might also take the under in that game because I think the Lions want to run the ball. Partially because they only have one wide receiver, but also because they've got a good offensive line, and they've got, two great running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs, man, he didn't put up big numbers last week, but if you watch that game, the kid he runs with a fire, man. Like, he's got a whole nother gear that nobody else on the field has. The one thing I worry about him is he's tiny. Like, he's the smallest guy on the field, so I do worry about him getting hurt. But again, Dangerous Knights has Montgomery as well, so, plug and play. Meanwhile, too good for you. Like I said, he's got Eckler, looks like he's going to be out, and I snatched up his backup because I needed a running back because I lost Dobbins in week 1. He's already dealing with Kupp being on IR. So, man, hopefully better days for Too Good For You. Speaking of the waiver wire, his stepdad, Bubba, comes in and snatches Puka Nachui or what, I've forgotten his name. But it looks like he's going to be out he's questionable, so I don't know if he's playing. Nonetheless, Too Good For You, still got other running backs. He's still got Chubb, he's got James Cook, he's got Brian Robinson. If I were Jackson, I'd be looking to make a trade, man, because his wide receivers, other than Kupp, are terrible. So he needs to make some moves. So, anyways, Dangerous Knights right now has a big advantage, but that's partially because Too Good For You still has Eckler in his lineup, and Eckler is projected not to play. Memphis Mains, 1-0, going against Slummy the Buckless Troll, also 1-0. Man, Memphis Mains, they've got Tua and Tyreek Hill, so he's got that Dolphins stack. That said, the Dolphins are playing against the Pats this week, and if you know anything about Bill Belichick, he likes to figure out who your best player is and, shuts them down. The question is, can you shut down Tyreek Hill? I mean, the guy, he's another one that's just got a whole other gear, a whole other level to his play. But I do think that that's what the Pats are going to try to come in and do, which I would think would make a... possibly, like, if you're playing daily fantasy, might be a Waddle week. I know Waddle's been a little bit banged up, but, I think that they could go that direction. Nonetheless, right now, the projection is in Slummy's favor. He had a huge game out of Kirk Cousins, not such a great game out of Madison. I read earlier that the Vikings are, in their last 2 games, have thrown the ball 73% of the time. So as a running back, it's a little hard to get going, Madison only puts up 4.9. I think he had one official fumble, but I think he technically fumbled twice, but there was a penalty. So I don't even know if Madison keeps this job. Ty Chandler, I think Crawdad has him. He may end up getting a shot at it. Who knows? This one ought to be a good game. Both these teams are really good. They're really tough. Both 1-0, so that should be a good one. But like I said, right now, the projections are leaning towards Slummy. Jive Turkeys against Tiggle Bitties. Tiggle Bitties trying to have a get-right game. They are projected just almost 50-50. There's less than, a tenth of a point, I think, between the two of them in the projections. Partially because Jive Turkeys, Goddard only put up like 8.2. But, he's got Tony Pollard. He's got the Sun God. He's got Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen has a big game against the Titans. The Titans have a great run defense, but they struggle, especially against wide receivers in the slot. And I could just see Keenan Allen going crazy against the Titans this week. Jive Turkey's also benching Deshaun Watson. Maybe he got a little touchy feel. I don't know. But yeah, he's going to play Daniel Jones. Not scared by that whipping that the Giants got from the Cowboys last week. He's going to roll out Daniel Jones, hoping Daniel Jones gets it right against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are terrible. So yeah, in fact, I'm leaning towards the Giants. That might be my lock of the week this week. I don't know. Meanwhile, Tickle Bitties, they've got the Burrow Chase stack, which didn't really help last week because they played terrible. But I think a lot of that was weather, and a lot of it was the fact that Burrow and Chase haven't really played together, in months. Burrow's been out. So hopefully they'll get it right. Tickle Bitties also has Saquon. Again, I can totally see the Giants getting up big on the Cardinals and then just dumping it off to Saquon. Just let him, put the game away. He's got Breece Hall, which Breece Hall I think is still going to be on a pitch count, but we saw it last week in that crazy, amazing win the Jets got over the Bills. Breece Hall is good. Man, I am regretting that I didn't go after him harder in the draft because, man, he's explosive. He's a real dude, man. Tickle Bitty's waiting to find out what the deal is on Andrews. Man, I don't know what's up with the tight ends this year. They're other than Hawkinson, they're all hurt. I just spit. Sorry. But yeah, they're all hurt. Waller's hurt. Kelsey's hurt. Andrews is hurt. He's waiting to find out. That's going to be a game time decision. But again, this one is like a 50-50 pick 'em. Trash Pandas going against my wife Crawdad and her ditch chickens. Crawdad has the advantage going in to Sunday. She had a big game out of Justin Jefferson, who put up 24.9 points without getting a touchdown. I know that he didn't get a touchdown because I bet on him for an anytime touchdown, and he did not get it. It went to Addison. I think he almost had a touchdown. I was playing a gig that night, and the TV that was facing me was the Memphis game. I didn't get to see the NFL game. But Crawdad's also got Waddle. Like I said, I think Waddle could have a big game. She's putting Ayuk in this week after he put up like 34 points on her bench. Meanwhile, Trash Pandas, made that move to pick up a running back because he's got Aaron Jones, who may or may not be out. I think it's leaning towards he's going to be out. He's got Kamara, who's still got a couple more games on his suspension. He was working with Kenneth Walker, and he had picked up Justice Hill off the waiver wire. But again, that Ravens backfield, you don't know who to trust now that Dobbins is out. Trash Pandas had a kind of weak showing from A.J. Brown, who only put up 6.9, but it would have been a completely different story if he had he caught a long touchdown, like a 40-yard touchdown, I think. But it got called back for a penalty. So that would have really changed things. But right now, Crawdad is up in that matchup, hoping to get her first win against the Trash Pandas. This one's an interesting game. Georgia Peaches going against Peyton's Five Head. That's right. The boys of football team Fort Lauderdale are going head-to-head this week. Once they were partners and teammates, now they are enemies. Right now, Georgia Peaches have the advantage. Both these teams are 0-1, so one of these guys is walking out with a win. Georgia Peaches, he's got Justin Fields, who, let me take a moment to apologize for my lock of the week last week. I thought the Bears were going to be good this year. I thought that they had surrounded Justin Fields with some talent finally, and that the Bears were going to be better. They're terrible. Chase Claypool, man, I don't even know what he's doing. Just garbage. Obviously Ryan is hoping that Fields gets it together. He's got Travis Etienne, who is really starting to develop into a good player. He has Higgins, who put up a goose egg last week. He's got Debo. He's got Kittle. The 49ers are going against... who are the 49ers going against? They're going against the Rams. Yeah. Rams always play the 49ers tough, so that one should be interesting. Anyway, so he's got Debo and Kittle. He's hoping that since last week was Ayuk, maybe this week will be either Debo or Kittle or some combination of both. Meanwhile, Peyton's five-head, still love that name, by the way. He's got Josh Allen, looking for a big bounce-back game out of him. He's got... Hopkins is hurt and questionable. I heard a rumor that it might be a high ankle sprain, so that's kind of scary. He does have Metcalf. He's got really solid, like, second tier running backs. He's got Mixon, he's got Pierce, he's got Connor. So again, this is a team that if I'm looking for a running back and weak, and I'm heavy at wide receiver, maybe I throw out a trade offer, something like that. So again, right now the advantage is going towards the Peaches, but I wouldn't count Peyton's five-head out of this one. And then last but not least, my team, the Duncan Disorderlies. Y'all met Duncan earlier. And I'm going against my sister. We got Haynes versus Haynes. My sister, man, I am competitive. I keep saying this. My sister is more competitive than I am. That said, she had a rough week last week, going against the Jive Turkeys. She's got Justin Herbert. I think Herbert has a big game against the who are the Chargers playing? The Chargers are playing the Titans. I think he's going to throw the ball a lot. Again, it's tough to run on the Titans, so I think Herbert is going to be throwing a lot. I think he's going to be hitting Keenan Allen a lot. She's got CMC. She's got Christian McCaffrey. I could see Christian McCaffrey having a big game. Right now, man, I'm going to take the over on Christian McCaffrey's rushing yards. They've got him at 69.5. That number's way too low. I think that CMC is gonna. I expect him to put up at least 80 yards. So, she also, my sister also has Amari Cooper, but it's an away game, and if Amari Cooper goes by the way he's always been, he sucks on away games. Meanwhile, I had a big game out of Jalen Hurts, put up 25 points on Thursday. I'm hoping for better things out of CeeDee Lamb. I'm hoping Calvin Ridley keeps doing what he did in week 1. I'm going to be playing Joshua Kelly if Eckler does end up being out. And then I'm hoping that all is well with Waller. I saw that they took away the questionable designation, but I've also heard that he's dealing with the exact same injury that's got Cooper Kupp on the IR. So that it's not just the hamstring, it's like a sciatic nerve issue. So I don't know if y'all have noticed, I've been picking up tight ends off the waiver wire like they're going out of style. So just in case. So those are our matchups, man. Again, if you lost last week or if you lose this week, just keep playing the game, working the waivers, making trades. All it takes is one win to stop a losing streak. As for my lock of the week, I got a few ones. I haven't decided. I'm debating right now. Man. So I told you I'm thinking about CMC over on his rushing yards. I'm leaning on the Lions to win by 4.5 or more. I really like the Giants to come back and have a get-right game against the Cardinals, because Cardinals are terrible. Giants are favored by 4. But my lock of the week, I'm going against the Chiefs. That's right. I'm going to take the Jaguars plus 3.5. Might even be able to get them at 3. But I think the Jaguars against the Chiefs. That's what I'm going to do. You heard it here. Jaguars against the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't as good as I thought they were. Those wide receivers look terrible. maybe they get it right. Pat Mahomes, I'm a Texas Tech guy, but man, I'm gonna take Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. Maybe I'm an idiot. Nonetheless, I'm also gonna bet the Giants and CMC and the Lions. All right, y'all have a great week. Unless you're playing me, that's you, my sister. To all of you, I give you my war face. Ah!